I'm going to show you how to wet sand and how to mix mud. Alright? So I'm going to show you how to mix drywall mud, or better known as joint compound, and how to wet sand. Wet sand? What are you talking about, Ken? You put water on sandpaper and you sand the wall? Do you spray the wall down with water with the hand mister and sand? No. It's dust free. And if you don't know about wet sanding, you will love this. Alright, and remember, easy 2 tips and tricks where you can see everything up close and personal, except for the moment. I will be showing you this up close and personal in just a minute. Alright, and then to just unofficially announce, I'm going to be doing an exercise program 3 days a week. The first day or 2 will be basic, simple exercises that you can do sitting in a chair, you can do standing up. And then I'm going to have at least 1 day of some serious exercise, bodybuilding, weightlifting, tips, tricks, etc. As well for the more advanced exercise enthusiast. Alright? So stay tuned for that. So with no further ado, let's get on to this. Alright, I got water in my bucket. And as you should be able to hear, alright, you want to squeeze it out. It's just damp, alright? You can see I'm squeezing, no water dripping. I'm making a fist with it, alright? Alright, but it's good and damp. Alright? So, I want to make sure that I'm doing this in a location that you can see. Alright? Okay. So now, right there we go. Alright, now you can see, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to start out with this. I'm going to show you exactly what this is looking like before. There's your before. Up close and personal. Alright? There it is. You see this edge right here? That's a pretty good edge. I should have feathered that out. I got in a hurry and left it behind. I can palm sand it like I did in my other video, but that creates dust. But I want to show you that this really works for those that don't know. You see this here, all right? And this here, this is very light. This is acceptable, but I'm going to show you real quick, all right, that this works really well. Alright, so I'm going to catch these 2 screw patch holes, alright, to show you that this really does work. Alright. Okay, again, alright, no water dripping. I'm making a fist. Alright. Now, we're going to come down to this one. Look at this. Took it right off of there, alright? Now, let's take it down here where I just showed you this area where it has this edge right here, alright? Now, this is going to take a little more work. And I'm going to rub this here. For those that don't know, this is really extreme. Alright? Now I'm probably going to come back and have to do a little bit of hand sanding or put my jitterbug finish sander on it to take it down real quick. Alright? But in this area in here where it's thinner, alright? Let's remove that. Okay? And we're working this area. It's coming off. Alright, let's see. Okay, we're going to show you what this looks like here up close and personal. Alright, I'm going to turn this over. And this is coming down, all right? Disappearing as we speak. And it doesn't take a whole lot of work. All right, if you were hand sanding this, you would still be sanding it, all right? Bam, there it is. Now, you can see it transferred onto the sponge. Because it should be yellow like this. All right, and you can see. All right, so the sponge is picking it up. Now, let's look at this up close and personal. Bam, all right. Remember, play it back, and you remember, you'll see where it was all tattered and holes and thick right here. I took it off. All right, this over here takes a lot more work, so I'm going to use sandpaper, but I was wanting to demonstrate that edge is not as hard. It's a lot softer now than it was. But sandpaper is much faster for this. All right, now, one more real quick. I'm going to go over this area in here, all right? Show you to get close and personal. See the edge? See how it's slight edge there? That will come down fairly easy, wet sanding. Okay, so let me show you. Bring out the water, the sponge, rinse it out. Okay, now, in this area right in here, all right, look at that. This was set up from yesterday. It's been about 24 hours. There it is, it's about gone. Okay? So this works really well. So I'm going to show you the end result of this right now, and then we're going to mix the drywall joint compound. Okay? Alright, so now let's show you this up close and personal. Okay. Look how smooth and feathered this edge is, and no dust. The beauty is no dust. Alright, but look how smooth this is in here. Alright. Remember how rough it was. Remember in this area right here, it was rough and had holes and like pits in it. And gone. Okay. So there you have it. That's wet sanding, all right? Using a sponge. All right, now we're going to start mixing up the joint compound, the drywall mud. One thing, we are going to go over this wall because I sanded it, all right? And you got loose dust everywhere. Okay, I sanded it with the palm sander and hand sanded prior. All right, I'm going to go over the entire area with this damp sponge. All right, to lift and to pull off the dust, because the dust will prevent your joint compound from sticking, and that's huge. All right, so I'm just going to go over this entire area. All right. Now look, I'm going to show you this. The dust that's on the wall I just pulled off on the sponge, okay? So, this is why you want to go over the entire area so that you remove all the dust. Okay, a lot of guys won't sand, they will scrape the wall and avoid sanding. Alright? So, if you do sand, okay, which is it's not a bad thing, you want to make sure you take a sponge and go over the area. Alright? This is more like a tile sponge. It's extra absorbent. It's extra thick. And it does a great job for when you're cleaning up grout. It does a great job
for wiping things down, and they're inexpensive. Okay. Okay, so let's get into mixing the drywall mud and show you how to do that. Okay, let's mix this thin set, the joint compound. Alright, so I'm going to put some joint compound, some 90 easy sand in 90. Alright. Now I think I'll be able to use up before it gets too, sets up and gets thick. Alright, now a little water goes a very long way. You can pour water in there from the bucket. You can use a cup or some type of a container to pour it in there. A measuring cup you could even do. But I'm going to take this sponge, you want to squeeze about that much water in there. Then I'm going to start the process by mixing it up by hand. Then I'm going to finish, alright, the process with a paint stir on my drill, alright. But this way you don't overmix and it's controlled, and you're sure not to waste your joint compound, alright? Because especially when you're starting out, you add the powder, then you add the water, and you see I'm just adding a little water at a time. And then you end up making a great big batch that you're not going to use, and you end up throwing half of it or over half of it away. Alright, it looks like this may just be about right now, and I can use my paint stir. Now you see guys using these great big stirs that you don't need, alright, and and all I'm using is an attachment that goes on my drill that's for mixing paint in a paint bucket, alright. Now this is probably a little bit, well, I almost have, there's almost not enough to mix with this electric mixer, but we're going to do it for GP. You get some little bumps of drywall joint compound in the mix, and so this is to remove those. And I'm tilting this up at an angle, alright? And I'm just barely going to turn this. This way those little bumps of unmixed drywall mud gets thoroughly mixed. And that's the purpose of this. Alright? Otherwise you've got to take your drywall knife, you've got to smash it against the sides of your container, and it just makes a lot more work. Alright? And you see I'm barely turning this, okay? It looks like most of those bumps are out of it. There's still a few. If you look in here, you can still see a few bumps in the mix. Alright, that's unmixed joint compound. And we just want to get them blended in, mixed in. Alright. Okay, now I could mix more, but this is just for demonstration purposes, a quick, easy way. Alright, I'm slowly spinning to kind of get that off. Okay, then I'm going to stick this in my bucket and clean it off. Okay. Alright. Put this in your water bucket and just spin it a little bit, and it knocks it off. Okay. That's how you do that.